Blackstone Audio presents Blowback, the fifth of the Enzo files, by Peter May. This book is dedicated to the memory of my friend and mentor, Tom Wright. La nature parle et l'expérience traduit. Jean-Paul Sartre. Prologue. Massif Central, France, February 2003. Dominique slipped the two wooden stakes under her arm and zipped her standard-issue waterproof jacket up to the neck. It was still winter cold. Wet now, although the snow remained thick on distant volcanic peaks. She pushed off up the track through the trees. Pine needles lay thick in the mud, the smell of them filling damp air, a powerful, bitter scent of decay, like the smell of death that awaited her at the end of her climb. She felt the chill anticipation of it in her bones. Beyond the tree line, the hill rose steeply. The little track, bounded by a crumbling dry stone wall, followed its ragged contour before turning sharply to circumvent a stand of dark trees. There it rose again toward the summit, where the hill flattened out and stretched away into the misted distance of the high plateau. Dominique stopped at the turn and, looking back, was surprised at how far she had climbed. She stood, breathless, for a moment and saw the blue flashing light of her van at the foot of the track, and the string of parked vehicles that snaked up the narrow road beyond it toward the auberge. She saw a group of tiny figures clustered on the road, an upturned parabole beaming its signal to the gods of some edit suite in Paris, where its images, accompanied by some well-chosen sound bites, would be dissected for ease of digestion. A great story, a tragedy, a shock aperitif for prurient consumers of the evening news all over France. Wearily, the young gendarme turned to face the last few hundred meters of her climb. As she neared the summit, she saw, at last, the old ruined stone bureau breaking the horizon. It was hard to believe now that such a place had once been inhabited, but only in summer, with the beasts feeding on the great banks of wild flowers and sweet grasses that blanketed the plateau. And maybe then, with its soft estival winds and its unbroken views across the roof of France, it was a good place to be. An escape from the world below. A sense of elevation, of godliness. But today clouds sat low on the peak, drizzling their misery on the world, losing distance in grey mist, and Dominique saw two figures, in dark, shiny waterproofs, huddled in the shelter of the wet stone. One sitting on
Sample complete. Ready to continue?